welcome to Intimate Details with Dr. Tiff. I'm your host, Dr. Tiffany Davis Henry, and I know this is not the typical introduction that you get to the podcast, but I wanted to start this way for a reason. Today's episode is entitled Heavily Meditated, and I did that because today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about meditation. You all know that I am a psychotherapist, a practicing psychotherapist. And if you've ever wondered, if you've been in therapy or ever wondered about kind of a behind the curtains glimpse as to what a therapist's life is not unlike yours. We go through life be lifing with us as well. And sometimes it really does kick our butts. So I do want to talk to you all just kind of how we got to this particular topic today. And then also for those of you who've never done meditation or feel like you're not capable of doing meditation, I'm just going to have to prove you wrong today and show you how it's done. All right. This is the first episode actually where if you're looking for a video on Spotify or on YouTube that you won't be able to find it because we are recording only audio today, specifically because I want you guys to be able, at the end of the video, to be able to get into a relaxed, meditative state, which will mean closing your eyes. So, in addition, I don't want you doing this while you're driving. But I want you to get to and find a quiet place where you can center yourself, where you can relax, where you can even turn your brain off. And if it happens that you go to sleep, I'm fine with that too. So let me just tell you how we got here, and then we'll get into the meditation. So, like I said, life be lifing. And last week was a pretty challenging week, not necessarily in terms of I always have various balls in the air. I always have a lot of stuff going on. And it wasn't really anything any different. My daughter, though, had something that she had been kind of neglecting for school that she kind of needed to get caught up on. And if as a parent, you know that like when they have work to do, that means you got work to do. So we all were just trying to scramble and help her finish this project that she had to complete by a certain time last week. And she was very stressed out about it. And we were having to stay on her more than normal to help her focus and get it done. So when she finally did finish, she was so excited. And she had to, enter in her information, and she was using my computer to do so. So she did that. And I don't know if I'm the only one that does this, probably not, but I use an external hard drive for my computer. I've had tons of laptops in the past, and some I would just kind of save everything on my laptop, which never a good idea because then it, uses up so much space, right? Um, so when I got in the past couple of computers that I've purchased, right, I also purchased an external hard drive. So I'm not saving a whole bunch of stuff on my computer. So I don't always take out the external hard drive when I'm moving my laptop around because I work on documents all the time. I have a living working document open, probably like 20 tabs. I'm constantly working on 15 different things. It's probably my own ADD of trying to work on everything at once. But she just needed to enter some information in on my computer really quick. I didn't feel like shutting down all the things that I had open, taking the external out, giving her the computer, coming back, having to put it back in. I didn't feel like doing all that. So left it in. At some point, she got so excited because she had finished doing the work. She showed her dad. And as 8-year-olds do, they sometimes don't necessarily control their bodies in a way in which an older person would. Lots of movement and dancing and celebrating and arms flailing and all of that. And she knocked my hard drive onto the floor. And it was in that moment that my life flashed before my eyes. I knew at that moment that, like, it could really be bad. The hard drive, the exterior of the hard drive was very much intact, but I just said, I'm not, and this was around dinner time, so I was like, I'm gonna take a deep breath and I'm gonna walk away. I'm not gonna deal with this right now because whatever it is, I know that there's nothing in the immediate that I can do about it. So I'm not gonna freak out. I'm not gonna get too upset. I'm just gonna pray and hope that it's okay. But again, my life is flashing before my eyes because I know what all is on this drive. It's everything. Um, so the next day, I get up and I decide, okay, I know what I want to do for, this week's episode of Intimate Details with Dr. Tiff. And at the time I was it really before all of this happened, I said, I want to talk about meditation. I want to do a meditation. Um, and just kind of break up the monotony of having a guest every week. That sometimes I kind of want to get in there and talk to you guys about some things that is important to me that may be a manifestation of some of the questions that you send in or that you ask for. And meditation has been one of those things. So I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I also used to do a lot of meditations for speaking engagements, for my church. Debriefing after at conferences, that kind of stuff. So I do meditations all the time and I write them all down. They're kind of a script in a way that I develop and use. And I had one script that was on that drive that I was thinking, you know what, this one would be perfect. I could tailor it towards my audience and go off of that one. It will be a beautiful meditation and a great entry point for people who don't necessarily know a lot about meditation or have never done it before. So I plug in the drive and I hear a clicking sound. Click, 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 click. And the drive never appears on my computer screen. I unplug it, plug it back in. Click, 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 click. And the drive again doesn't come up on my screen. And so now I'm in oh shit mode because my life and the life of my businesses, everything is on this drive. There is not a day that I don't pull up a document or save a document or revamp something that I've written, proposals, invoices, just everything is on this drive. And, like I said, the day before, my life flashed before my eyes, but now it was becoming incredibly apparent that I'm going to have to start over in a way that I had not really prepared myself mentally for. And I'm sure in some way, shape, or form, you guys can relate, right? Where something just goes so catastrophically wrong in your day to day that you don't know how you're going to recover. Um, and this just impacts so many different areas of my life, so many of the different things that I do. Um, I just did not, I just couldn't. So I start calling around to some data recovery places and, talk to a couple people. And once I started getting the numbers back on how much it would cost to recover the data, like the system, the external hard drive is gone. That was very clear that that was not worth repairing. The cost to repair that external hard drive would be above and beyond the cost of actually getting a new one, right? But then to recover all of the files, any of the files, was about a range between, I think the lowest estimate, and again, estimate, meaning it could be a lot more than that depending on what they're capable of recovering. Um, it ranged from 700 to probably like $5,200 to maybe be able to get any of the files off of this drive. So at this point, I'm really devastated because, like, we all have a price. We all have a price that we are willing to pay for whatever, and I'm sitting here in my mind as they're telling me, and I call place to place to place to place, telling me, how much this could cost. And the range was pretty standard with the number of places that I called. They all had a similar range, some lower, some higher, but right in the same ballpark. So I knew that's what this was going to cost. And there was no guarantee that even if they looked at it, that they would be able to pull the information out of there. And like I said, the drive itself was a lost cause, but the information is what I needed. And so I sent it to a friend of mine who's done this. He works in computers, works in tech, and he's done it before. And he finally got back to me and said, I tried what I could, but it's just not possible. And, I knew that. Deep down, I knew that. I think I kind of knew that when it dropped to the floor. But um, I've run through my mind like what could have happened differently, what could I have done differently? Obviously, be so easy to blame my 8-year-old for being 8, you know, um, which is not the greatest thing to do. So obviously I went back and forth because my husband was like, are you going to talk to her about, that you can't get this stuff recovered? And I was like, I am, but I got to find a gentle way to do it because at the same, like in my mind, as a parent, as an adult, as a person, there's only so much harping on something that I think any of us really should do, especially when what's done is done. Obviously, we don't want something to continue to happen or to happen over and over again. So you need to know the severity of what's happened. But there's also only so much her 8-year-old brain is going to be able to understand about the severity of all of this. She knows her mama's a crazy person that has 18 jobs, but she doesn't necessarily understand the interworkings of a computer and how this little square shaped device that is no bigger than her hand is like it houses all of my life in it and what that actually means. So I wanted to break it down to her in a way that I knew that she could understand, but also help her to understand like what I mean by, I need you to not run, jump, play in the kitchen area, or I need you to control your body, I need you to understand that this is not a toy, those types of things. So we did have a talk about it. And I have moved on. I've moved on. It delayed my ability to record this episode because, like I said, some of the things I've had to rewrite documents that have lived with me for years. And of course, I'm not finished, right? This is going to be a working thing that I do for the next probably year. Is when I realize that something that I need was on that document, on that drive, I'm gonna have to recreate it. But this is where meditation comes in. I often am asked, like, you know, about, I guess I don't even know if it's that I'm asked as much as I've received feedback that I have such an even temperament, that I don't stress a lot, that things don't seem to bother me, and that is not true. I am a human being, just like you. Things do bother me. I do have negative emotions. I think that because I am a therapist, though, I think um, I have access to some tools that tend to help me out. I think very deeply about things. I try to be very intentional about my words, especially in speaking to people, because I'm very much aware of how our words land with people and how they can have an impact on how someone feels. So I try to be as intentional as possible about how I deliver and how I receive. And one of the things that has helped me out so much in digesting emotions and living with emotion and with experiencing emotion is the art of meditation. And so that's one of the things that is what I want to talk to you guys about today. So many people think of meditation as this thing that they cannot do. It is a state of being, allowing yourself to be exactly where you are, to concentrate fully on where you are mentally, emotionally, physically, and getting to a place where you're giving your subconscious brain permission to relax, to let go, to release, to relieve itself of what does not serve it, right? Many people see meditation as this thing that is so unattainable that only certain people can do it. I'm here to tell you today, anybody can do it. If you don't believe me, you'll try it at the end of this exercise and you'll realize that you have done it. You've probably done it many times. Meditation, there is no perfect way to meditate. There is no perfect time limit for meditation. You can meditate for 1 minute. You can meditate for 10 seconds. You can meditate for 5 seconds. There is no set time period, but the goal is obviously for you to be able to do it longer and longer and longer. That if 10 seconds is all you can do, that's fine. Maybe the next time you'll strive for 25 seconds, and the next time you'll strive for 45 seconds, and the next time 1 minute. That is called growing in your meditation practice. Give yourself permission to do it as long as you can. Understand, many people say, well, my brain wanders. That's normal. You're a human being. Everyone's brain wanders. Everyone's brain floats off and starts thinking about something else. That's perfectly normal and it's perfectly fine. Within the meditation process, though, once you realize that your brain has gone off in the distance and is now thinking about dinner or work or something your boss said to you or something you forgot on your to-do list, when you realize that you're not in your meditative state, you just bring yourself back. You just bring yourself back. We all do that. It is very, very normal for your brain to think about all of the things. So let me just give you a little bit of insight, and we're going to go into a meditation a little later in the episode. But I do want to give you this insight first. Meditation is so there are two parts of our brain. There is, and you can read up on meditation online. Obviously, there are tons of resources, tons of explanations, and it may be that I'm not explaining this perfectly to you. If you feel like you need more, please do, because I'm not going in depth into what and how, right? But there are two parts of our brain. There are many parts of our brain, but I'm talking about two specifically: the conscious and subconscious part of our brain. The conscious part of our brain is a part of our brain that is awake, that is active, that is doing the most, right? The conscious part of our brain walks into a room and says, "Oh, I see this person," or "I really like the shoes that she's wearing," or "It's super hot in here," or "I'm hungry. What's to eat?" The conscious part of our brain is active. They're doing the most. It's always something happening. They're observing. They're using all of the senses. That is our conscious brain. It is in overdrive most of the day. Our subconscious brain is where a lot of our feelings about what we see, hear, feel, smell, taste, our subconscious brain is dealing with that stuff. So, yes, I walk into the room and I see someone over there that I know. My subconscious brain says, well, we should probably stay on this side of the room because that person doesn't really like us, and we hover over in a corner rather than mingle the room, when the reality is that we probably should be working the room, but we are not, because our subconscious is telling us to do something different. Our subconscious brain starts telling us how good that food smells and how delicious it would be going down, right? Even though the conscious part of our brain has told us already, girl, you're on a diet. You don't need that. We're not doing that today. That is not on the meal plan. You have already prepped your lunch. It is in the refrigerator. You're not eating that. Our subconscious brain our mouth starts watering. We can taste it already going down. We know how full we're going to be. Starts negotiating our workout schedule, because if I eat that now, I can just work out a little bit more. That's our subconscious brain working overtime. I'll give you another example. If you've ever watched a movie on television and then gone to sleep, and then remnants of that movie appears in your dream, that's your subconscious brain. What we try to do with meditation is quiet the conscious brain and really speak to that subconscious part of your brain that is always thinking, always motivating, always dictating our emotions and our behavior, our experiences of what's going on around us. The subconscious really does wake up when the conscious goes to sleep. And so our goal with meditation is really to quiet down the conscious part of our brain, the one that says what she says, and talk to the subconscious part of our brain that has a lot of feeling behind what was said. It has a lot of emotion, that holds the trauma, that holds the feelings of guilt, shame, disappointment, anger, resentment, hurt, loss. So with meditation, what we want to do is, and what I'm asking you guys to do with me today, is to kind of tap into some of those negative emotions, experiences, things that you have trouble distancing yourself from. The meditation that I prepared today that we're going to do is more about finding peace in chaos. Last week was super chaotic for me. I had my own 15 bags of things that I was trying to juggle and do. And in addition to that, helping, my daughter do some of the things that she needed to do, helping her have to juggle that. There may have been things that I'm helping my husband do or helping my parents do. There's so many things that we're all trying to do at the same time. And also find some semblance of peace, finding a peaceful place to go to. Sometimes that peaceful place has to be within our mind because we can't physically escape. So we have to find a way to do it. And meditation allows us to be able to ignore the conscious part of whatever is going on in our life and relax into a subconscious, peaceful place that we can access at any time. And so hopefully that isn't too wild of an explanation of where we're going today and what meditation is, but I wanted to give you that. before we started in. So, meditation um, is a way for us to begin to have conversation about letting go. And not only letting go, but finding a place of relaxation and peacefulness and understanding that that place is always with you. I'm going to teach you today how to tap into that place, how to get there, and how to take yourself back there when you need it. So, at this time in the podcast, I want you to find a relaxing and peaceful place. This can be in your house. This could even be in your car, as long as your car is not in motion. I don't want you driving and trying to do this meditation. Please promise me that. It can be in your office. It can be on a couch. It can be on a floor. It can be on your bed. I don't want you to worry about falling asleep. Don't worry if you find yourself falling asleep during this meditation. It's okay. Why? Because as I said before, your subconscious brain is off. I'm sorry, your conscious brain is off at this time. But even if you drift off a little bit, your subconscious brain is still working. And I don't need to talk to your conscious brain. So, conscious brain, just go to sleep. Your subconscious brain is the one that is still active, still needs to hear what I'm saying, and will hear what I'm saying. So, don't worry about whether or not you drift off or fall asleep. If you remain awake during the whole time, kudos to you. Understand your mind may drift off to another place. When you recognize that that has happened, draw your attention back to the sound of my voice, and we'll continue from there. This is a living, breathing recording. I want you to practice it. I want you to do it more than once. Come back to this recording whenever you need to, whenever you need help getting to that quiet, peaceful place that I'm going to take you to in just a minute. So find that place, find a place of comfort where you can relax. And let's get heavily meditated today. Today we talked quite a bit about negative emotions, things that we all experience from time to time. How we handle them, how we digest them. And now we're going to learn the art of controlling and dealing with those feelings when they arise for us, when they come up. For some of us, those feelings may look like depression or anxiety. For others of us, it may look a lot like stress or anger, overwhelm. Some of us may struggle with hurt, frustration, and disappointment. And still others may be experiencing a combination of any number of these feelings. As a result of our work today, you're going to learn how to disengage from those feelings in times when those feelings don't serve you. You will not struggle with these emotions. You will allow them to flow, knowing that you are in control of these feelings at all times. You will feel happy, relieved, and so confident that you can now guide yourself into a relaxing and peaceful state of being. at any time. So let's get started. I want you to start by taking in a deep breath and letting it out. Good. Now take in another deep breath and let it out. And if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. Take in another deep breath and let it out. Just notice a wave of relaxation from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head. And with each breath you take in, you're breathing in relaxation and peacefulness. And with each exhale, you're letting go of any tension or stress. Just letting go now, knowing that meditation is an unforced, self-imposed process, and you are in complete control of this experience. Noticing that the sound of my voice and any other sounds that you hear only serve to take you deeper and deeper into relaxation. Any other sounds that you hear are just the everyday sounds of living. Birds chirping, music playing, cars outside your window. They're the everyday sounds of living, and they only serve to take you deeper and deeper into this relaxed, meditative state. And with every breath that you draw in, and with each exhale, you feel so much more relaxed. And in this very relaxed state, I want you to please put your thumb and forefinger together and say the words to yourself: calm and relaxed. Calm and relaxed. Calm and relaxed. And anytime you want to come back to this very safe, relaxing place, you only need to put your thumb and your forefinger together and say the words calm and relaxed to yourself, and you'll be right back to this very relaxed state of being. Just let yourself go even deeper now to a very relaxing, peaceful place. This can be a place out in nature, or it can be a beautiful mountain cabin, or maybe it's a beach house. Whatever you like, this is your peaceful place. It can be a place that actually exists, or it can be a place in your imagination, or it can be a combination of both. It's really important that you don't judge it or analyze it. And additionally, it doesn't have to be perfect. The more often you allow yourself to go to this relaxing, peaceful place, the more detailed it will become. And you can fill in these details as you go. Just let yourself go there. Allow all of your senses to be here in this moment. Notice everything that you see, all of the colors and shapes. Noticing that the colors are so vivid now. All your favorite things to see in beautiful, vibrant colors. And now notice anything that you may hear. Maybe the sound of birds, the trees, the water, or maybe it's just quiet and peaceful. It's completely up to you. And now notice your favorite scent is in the air. Maybe you smell your favorite flower. Maybe it's the scent of pine trees. Perhaps it's the ocean. Or maybe it's just fresh air. You can have whatever aroma you like. This is your peaceful place. Really breathe. Now notice that the temperature is just perfect for you. And notice that the clothes that you are wearing are so soft against your skin. You feel so comfortable, so peaceful, and so relaxed. Now, while you are in your comfortable place, I'd like for you to take a deep breath. And as you exhale, allow yourself to feel twice as comfortable and wonderful as you do right now. And take in a second deep breath. And as you exhale, allow yourself to relax even more. And on the third deep breath, as you exhale, allow yourself to feel wonderful, realizing that you are in a place where nothing affects you, where there is no anxiety, there is no stress. Depression does not live here. There's no pain, no anger. There is no worry about finances. There are no feelings of overwhelm. There's no frustration here, no moodiness, no fighting, no friction. In your place, there is no illness, no sleeplessness. This is where you are completely and totally safe. And I want you to commit this place to memory. Every detail. Just look around. All the colors, the shapes, the scents, the smell, the noises. Lock it all in to your memory. Because in the future, anytime you find yourself confronted by what used to be any of these stressful, anxiety provoking situations or any kind of negative emotion, all you'll need to do is take your 3 deep breaths and allow yourself to remember and come back to this wonderful, worry free, stress free place that you have created for yourself. Now, let's go ahead and try it right now to ensure that you understand the concept. Right now, I would like for you to think of something, a person, a situation that may have caused you discomfort, uneasiness, or pain, depression, something that caused you to be anxious or fearful or stressed in the past. And I want you to allow your mind to go back to the last time that you felt that negative emotion. Allow yourself to go there. Do you remember? And now that you're there, at that place where you last felt those negative emotions, let's take a deep breath and just let that negativity flow away with your exhale. Now take in your second deep breath and allow yourself to feel wonderful coming back to your special place. And now take your third deep breath and allow yourself to relax completely. Since it's fully engaged, seeing your perfect place in all its beauty, smelling your favorite scents, absorbing this perfect paradise you've created for yourself. You are now anxiety-free, worry-free, stress-free, so comfortable, so peaceful, and so relaxed. It feels great, doesn't it? Allow yourself to hang out here in this space as long as you need to in this moment. Just hanging out. And anytime you're confronted with negative feelings, you only need to take those 3 deep breaths to transport yourself back to this special place. You understand now that your emotions serve a purpose in their own way. And we thank God We thank our higher power. We thank our Creator for our emotions as they allow us to empathize and connect with those we are called to serve and those with whom we are in relationship. We acknowledge that there are times when these negative emotions penetrate our armor. It is in that time that we must take the necessary time to repair, to take care of ourselves, to go to our own special place, to heal and relieve ourselves of the emotions that don't serve us in these moments. We ask the universe, we ask our Creator to help us to see that need for ourselves more clearly, that we can identify better when we need to go to our special place. And that we accept our own need for self-care and isolation at times more readily. That we allow ourselves to go to our special place when we need more peace, knowing that it will be delivered and that our higher power will meet us there. Now, in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 up to 5. And when I reach 5, we'll be back. Bright eyed and bushy tailed, wide awake and back. You'll feel relaxed and refreshed, completely back to the here and now of the day. 1, with energy flooding back into your body. 2, you're feeling refreshed and relaxed. 3, with lots and lots of energy. 4, take in a deep breath and let it out. 5, open your eyes, wide awake, feeling refreshed, relaxed, and amazing. So that's it. For those of you who said you can't do meditation, I'm here to tell you, you just did it. This is a guided meditation where we give you some things to think about as you allow that conscious part of your brain to turn off and your subconscious to do the work. I would encourage you to listen to the meditation part of this episode as many times as you like, and certainly as many times as you need to help you visit that special place that you've created for yourself with the understanding that peace and comfort will meet you there. This has been my pleasure to offer this to you, to my listeners of Intimate Details with Dr. Tiff. I thank you so much for this time. And I'm eager to hear how you felt about this process. So if you can, comment on the website, on the podcast. You can leave a comment there on Spotify. You can also leave a comment on YouTube. You'll be able to leave a comment. And certainly you can DM us at Intimate Details Podcast on Instagram. and leave a comment there. Don't forget to continue to listen to the podcast. We have a very special guest coming up next week. Tish Wiggins of Tish Around Town is going to be joining us. And she is going to talk to us about one of my favorite subjects, wine. So we're going to do a little wine exploration. I will let you guys know about that show in advance because we're also going to do a little sip, a little tasting, and there's a particular wine that we're all going to try. So I have my bottle already, and I'm going to make sure that you guys get yours in advance of the episode. It is, oh goodness, it's Lafette Blanc, and I'll make sure to put that in the show notes today so that if you would like to go get your bottle ahead of time and have it for the listening of the podcast, you are able to do so. So again, this has been Intimate Details with Dr. Tiff. Hopefully you are heavily meditated at this point and free to go about your day without any worry, stress, or overwhelm. I appreciate your time and I thank you for listening. I'll see you next week.